Hi there, I'm Jim.
Hi there, I'm Johanna.
Let's talk teaching. Welcome to Let's Talk Teaching, a podcast from the Center for Teaching, Learning, and Technology here at Illinois State University. I'm Jim G. Joining me today, once again, well, I say once again, but I'm not sure if this is going to end up being your first appearance or not. Joining us today is Yojanna Cuenca-Carlino. She's our Assistant Vice President for Faculty Development, Diversity, and Learning. Welcome back, or welcome for the first time to the show, depending on how this all works out.
Hi, Jim. Good morning. I'm happy to be here.
I'm sorry. We just went down the rabbit hole of what it's like to edit a podcast. And, full disclosure for everyone, it's just before the winter break. We're recording a couple of episodes because we have a lot of exciting things to talk about in the new year. And one of them is something called COACHE. And when I first heard this, I had visions of like Friday Night Lights, high school football. This is a little bit different. Tell us a little bit about this initiative, this partnership, which ISU is a part of now.
Yes, absolutely. We are very excited. We signed up. It's a 3-year partnership with the Collaborative on Academic Careers in Higher Education, also known as COACHE. Which is actually based out of Harvard Education, the Graduate School of Education. Mm-hmm. And what they do, they have been around for, I think, close to 20 years. And what they do is that they help institutions assess the workplace. So they conduct this faculty job satisfaction survey to help institutions learn about what is working well to support their faculty and what are some of the things that they also need to pay attention to better support the faculty experience in the institutions. We're very excited. We're joining over 300 institutions that have been doing this. Some of them have done this every 3 years. Mm-hmm. So COACHE also helps us not only with the data that we collect, they will send us a report, but also we get comparatives. How are we doing compared to our peer institutions? So, it's a good opportunity for us to learn in a more systematic way. The good things that we're doing, and again, the things that we need to do better. The survey also assesses not only the workplace, so it's not a climate survey, right?
Right.
It's one of the components, but this survey has like 7 different areas that they assess. They assess teaching, research, service, their perceptions about tenure and promotion, collegiality, mm-hmm. Their perceptions on leadership. So all those components are part of what we're going to be assessing with COACHE.
So it sounds to me like this is something much more comprehensive that we've had, at least in recent years on campus. Certainly some of the pieces that you've talked about, and we've talked about in the past, that we have surveyed in terms of teaching and learning and supporting faculty in that. But this seems to be much more, can I use the word holistic?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And that's exactly it. That you're right. It's a holistic view on like the faculty experience, right, mm-hmm. in academic environments. So how can we support that? And that is tied to recruitment and retention, right? Because if you are happy in your job, mm-hmm. that is going to have implications for your students, for your own development. And, we want you to stay here. We want you to make sure that you are in an environment where you are succeeding and again, happy, right? So mm-hmm. that's part of that. Our intention is to be, again, more intentional, perhaps,
right? Yeah.
On how do we assess the experiences of faculty.
And so speaking of intention, then how do you envision this data being used?
Sure. So the survey will be administered by COACHE, and one of the things that we could ask the audience is actually to link on there was another news article that was mm-hmm. That came out. It was kind of called Finger on the Pulse, and right. we could just put that there with more information. But the survey, COACHE will administer the survey in February. So the survey will continue at the beginning of February. Faculty are going to receive an email to please participate in the COACHE survey. And again, we're going to get good data as long as we get good participation.
Right.
So that's what we are really asking faculty to really give us, their opinion and, mm-hmm. and tell us how can we do better. So that survey is going to be open until April, and then COACHE actually gives us the summary data by the summer. And then that is when a lot of work groups probably are going to be formed and then go over the data and then start, making action items based on what we learn.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
that sounds exciting. And, we've talked a lot behind the scenes here at CTLT about, I don't want to say it's a shift. We've always been very data-driven, evidence informed when we're helping instructors do teaching. But I think it will be very interesting to see, like you said, it's not a climate piece, but it is looking at this larger picture. It'd be very interesting to see how the teaching and learning pieces fit into the larger thing. Maybe not, when we're talking about improving student outcomes, maybe there are other avenues that need to be addressed, not just your pedagogical practice or scholarship into your pedagogical practice. It may be, like you said, I've often said a happy teacher is a better teacher. And you said the same thing. I've often felt that, I should say. And I think that anything that we can do to address this ultimately also has benefit for our students.
Oh, absolutely, right. And in general, the institution, we want to make sure that, again, we are supporting faculty, right, the best that we can to do that. We also have on the Provost website, and we'll make sure to share the link, we have a page specifically about COACHE with frequently asked questions and kind of the timeline if people are interested in getting more information. But basically, my call is to please, take this and really participate in the survey because, again, the more data that we can gather, the more meaningful that the results are going to be.
That sounds great. Yojanna, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Jim.
And that's all the time we have for this short episode of Let's Talk Teaching. You can find out much more about the COACHE survey. Go to our website, ctlt.illinoisstate.edu. Click on the podcast link on the homepage. That will get you to this show page, and we will link to all of those things that Yojanna was talking about in this episode. So for Yojanna Cuenca-Carlino, for all of my colleagues here at the Center for Teaching, Learning, and Technology, until we talk again, happy teaching.